All right, what's up, y'all? Hope everybody's doing good. As you see here on the table, got a cool one. This is the Medford Knives NOSFERATU Auto. So, pretty cool design. This is one that caught my eye, when they released it a while back. This one particular knife is on loan from me from my good buddy Mason, aka Napalm Friday on Instagram. He was kind enough to send this one over so I could take a look at it, get a little pocket time with it. And let you folks know what I think about it. So let's jump right in. As stated, it is an automatic knife. So it is an out-the-side auto, switchblade style, just like that. It does come with a lock right there, so you will not be able to push it out when that lock is engaged. So you may want to familiarize yourself with that and make sure before you put it in your pocket to go ahead and put that on. It is a little annoying because you really need to get into the habit of saying, okay, that's down, which means it's live. And then that is, when it's in the up position, that means it's locked. So kind of got to get used to that a little bit. It takes a little, is it necessary to have that? Absolutely. Maybe, maybe not. I've got out the side autos that don't have that feature, but it is a good feature in my opinion to have anyway. In any case, beautiful purple violet anodized with that blue on the pocket clip. Got a matte black back spacer. I believe the back spacer is aluminum on these, and obviously the scales are titanium. So nice blue anodized. It looks like it might be a little heat anodized too in the pivot. That's probably going to be like the T30 pivot, the same that they use on the new slim middies that they're putting out right now. So very cool there. Blade is just super aggressive. You gotta love, first of all, look at those Medford grind lines. You gotta love those grind lines that they do. It's always looks real nice. When they do that I guess it's like a lightly tumbled, but hand satin or satin finish, belt satin finish, and then lightly tumbled. Always looks really good. And you can see those grind lines all on the blade there. Very aggressive swedge going all the way back to really give it that dagger appearance. And of course it has that coffin shape handle, so it looks almost like a vampire coffin, so hence the name NOSFERATU, or why they went with that. It does come in a flipper variety as well. The flipper's more of a sheep's clip style blade, and of course it has a flipper tab as well. I don't particularly like the looks of that one, but it may be functionally perfect, but I don't really like the looks of that one, but I do definitely like the looks of this one. Let's do a couple size comparisons real quick. Let's see, here is the Spyderco Pm2. All right, so that also has a 3.5 inch blade. It weighs in at about 6 ounces. And it's got, I don't know, some handle scale thickness of probably just a little bit over 1/2 inch. I haven't actually measured that, but there you go. So that's the Spyderco Pm2. And the Ontario Rat #1 right there. So similar with that as well. Let's see, for a similar Medford in size, and it's going to be a little bit bigger than the slim midi with the 3 1/4 inch. This is a 3 1/2 inch blade. It's going to carry a little bit differently in the pocket as well, but I wanted to kind of show you this one because the slim midis in Medford that is fairly common. A lot of folks that maybe don't own other Medfords, they actually do own the slim midi. Oh, and just as an aside here, forgive the paint on my hands. I was painting my son's room this afternoon, so I got a little bit on me, so just never mind that. Let's see here. Also the Chris Reeve Knives Large Sebenza 21. Similar size there, thicker profile, or thicker width, I should say. And that's it as far as size comparisons go. But yeah, let's go ahead and compare thickness. It's a bit of a chunker right there. There's no doubt about it. So it's going to take a little bit more real estate in your pocket. It's going to be more noticeable. Like I say, it's 6 ounces, which isn't too bad, but if you're looking for that blade length to weight ratio, it's not going to really be in the favor if that's something that be in your favor if that's something that you are really looking forward to. But kind of going into it a little bit more here, as far as the action goes, it is very snappy. There is a bit of a rebound when you open it up. It's not obvious, but it does have a bit of a rebound off the off the stop pin there. And I would attribute that mostly to the weight of the blade. So it is a fairly thick blade stock, as you can see right there. So I would go, it's probably a 0.19 blade stock. It's just ground down so darn thin, or 187 or something that they typically use. I'm not sure as far as that goes, but you get the plunge, the button lock, the plunge on that works very smoothly. There's no hiccup, there's no stick on it or anything like that. So that's always a positive. Now, of course, when you have it locked, it's not going to deploy fully, so you're going to need to reseat it a little bit and then go ahead and do that. You can actually lock it in the open position as well, which is nice. So if you deploy the knife like this, then you can go ahead and lock it. It won't close. That button will become non-functional. So lock works both ways. So that's a nice feature as well. Now, kind of compare it to, I have this this ProTech right here. So ProTech is, as many of you know, I'm sure, they are probably one of the best, if not the best, in out the side autos. And this is the only one I have right now. I've had a few different ProTechs, and they're always very impressive. And this is, of course, is the Brand. I believe the Model 2. The 1 is the super big one. No, it's the Model 3, and then the 2 is the teeny tiny one. And then this is the Model 3. So, you know, I mean, the size, obviously the Brand is bigger and lighter too, due to the aluminum scales. As far as action goes, I mean, that's very snappy. They definitely took some tips from ProTech, I would say. ProTech is probably a little bit snappier, but I don't know if you would attribute that to the spring weight or just the fact that the blade stock thickness is so much less on the ProTech, so it's much thinner on there, so it's going to weigh a lot less too. Of course, this one's ground, double ground as well, on both sides. So this is almost like a false dagger right there on the Brand ProTech. But yeah, it's definitely it's a very well executed knife. You know, this is, I believe, their first foray into the auto, or possibly the slim Praetorian auto was one that they did before. I'm not 100% sure, but this is definitely one of their first, and they don't have a ton of other autos. Like I say, I know they have the Medford Praetorian in a slim auto version as well, and I'm pretty sure that that's it. But overall, I haven't used this a whole lot. It's not mine. As I say, it's on loan. But I have carried it for a few days, used it a little bit for a couple of things. You know, functionally speaking, I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to cut things. It's got a nice grind. Certainly, I mean, it's pokey as all get out right there with that aggressive blade geometry and blade profile, I should say, and that very pronounced swedge. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to call it a dagger grind. I mean, this certainly would be a little bit more of a dagger grind on the Brand 3 with the medial ridge going all the way down. This one is more of just a very dramatic swedge with a deep hollow grind on it. False edge, you might even call it. Like I say, it's definitely not sharp, but it will certainly aid in any sort of stabbing cuts that you need to make on anything. You know, it's definitely going to have a certain appeal to it. It's not going to appeal to everybody, as is very often the case with Medford knives. A lot of different, I would almost say more than any other manufacturer, any other maker out there. You know, it's really going to be one of those things where if it visually appeals to you and you want to have it in your collection, it definitely makes sense to get something like this. Is this one that I would add to my collection? After handling it, I don't know if it checks all the boxes for me and if it's something that I'd want to add into my collection for carry. But, you know, if you love the look of it and you just want to own this, I mean, I'd say go for it. It's definitely well made. There's no doubt about that. It's rock solid. I mean, there's no blade play in any direction, up, down, anything like that. The button, as I say, works really well. Very smooth, no hang-ups, no hitches on the button, no grittiness in the action at all. It's very, very hydraulic, very smooth. And so I would say go for it if it's something that appeals to you visually. It definitely looks cool. There's no doubt about it. That is one cool looking knife. And aptly named too, the NOSFERATU. You know, it definitely has that look, like the old style coffins. So very cool, very cool. So In any case, that's pretty much all I got on this guy right here. I appreciate y'all checking it out. Go ahead and click that little button in the corner and subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram at Chuck_Nunface. Let me know what you think about this one here. And I want to appreciate my buddy, or I want to say thanks again to my buddy Mason, aka Napalm Friday, on Instagram for sending this out to me so I could check it out. Thanks a lot, y'all.